Oh, Ron. Woe is me, Ron. Where are you? Ron, this week's episode of News Time is all kinds of messed up. It was supposed to be about Christopher Nolan's Tenet releasing, but now that got pushed back to the end of July, and then it got pushed back even further to August, and who knows, it might not even come out in August. Ah, God, I'm so stupid. I should never plan news time ahead of time. What are we gonna do? Let's see, what's going on in the news? Oh, well, there's that thing, and then the other thing, and of course the pandemic. Oh my God. Lady Antebellum versus Lady A, the singer. Yeah, that'll be it. But then what do I do all these Tenet references? Who cares? Nobody watches this stupid show anyway. Fourth wall.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With hosts, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the music lawsuit news that you didn't know about. Now, the coronavirus pandemic is ravaging the planet. States like Florida, Texas, and Georgia continually set daily records. The nation is at odds due to systematic racism. People are dying every single day, and a band and a singer are mad because they can't have the same name. Country pop band Lady Antebellum is looking to drop the Antebellum because, what the name connotes, but there's a problem. Blues singer Lady A also has the name the band wants. The problems are a lot deeper than what I just described here. However, everyone who's already chosen a side seems to only know this much. Hopefully by the end of this episode of News Time, we can clear up the details of Christopher Nolan's Tenet. So wait, did I say Tenet? No, that's not right. See, this is what I was talking about, Ron. I knew if I planned too far ahead and then a pandemic happened that we couldn't predict, we'd run into this type of trouble. Alright, I'll just power through. One of the better, yet simultaneously more reactive repercussions from the growing civil unrest in regards to Black Lives Matter as well as other movements is the entertainment industry's knee-jerk reactions to change. The CW show Batwoman lost its lead and recast her with a black woman. The Dixie Chicks lost their dicks, and if you have a problem with that, with what I just said, know that the script has the prefix of the name Dixie written to sound like the genital, because that's comedy, and I know because I'm a comedy man. Lady Antebellum utilized this opportunity to change their name. However, blues singer Anita White, not related, aka Lady A, has been using her name for 20 years. Ms. White, who on top of being a singer entrenched in the world of music, also works for Seattle Public Utilities as the African American Advisory Group Advisor. Here she is with her luscious hair at the recent Juneteenth celebration. Ms. White is obviously not happy with the situation at hand, going so far as to tell Vulture she's not going to be erased. Her background as a singer is as storied as this story. She was born in Seattle, playing with around the Northwest region in the 80s with a couple of Motown bands before venturing out on her own. In 2010, she officially debuted as Lady A, releasing 5 official albums since then, with her latest record hitting as recently as this year. Even though she's unsigned and independent, Ms. White has as much tenacity as every other musician above her. Back to the problems she's currently facing, Ms. White is fine with rebranding. She offered up new suggestions for both parties, such as the band going by Lady A the band, while she went as Lady A the artist. The easiest thing. The band, previously known as Lady Antebellum, is not in a good situation. They appear selfish and tone deaf, but what if, hear me out, what if maybe they're right, or at least partially right? Hillary Scott, Charles Kelly, and David Haywood make up the band that has been operating since 2006. That's nothing compared to the 3 or so decades Ms. White has been in operation. However, Lady A the band really blew up with their first single, Love Don't Live Here Anymore, which in itself might be problematic because there's a Rolls Royce song with the same name from 1978, but then you remember titles are hard and it doesn't matter anymore. Then came the band's eponymous debut album. They've released several albums, did 2 supporting legs of tours in 2008 before headlining their first one in 2010, and won countless awards. While they do perform country-styled music, it's more poppy, which makes them more approachable to mass audiences, and they're not racist, so let's get that out of the way. Back in 2010, the band applied for the trademark Lady A and won the rights a year later. The name Lady A was in fact used by the band during that time. You can see it right here on the band's Christmas album. Huh? You can't? What are you talking about? It's right there. Seriously? Come on. It's right there. Oh, now let's see what you're saying. The 2 acts even started writing a song together around the same time as a way of saying, hey, we've got the same name and we're cool with it. By all accounts, the parties were fine with the name situation. It wasn't until Ms. White brought in new counsel that things changed. The collaboration was dropped, as were regular negotiations on name sharing, with the band claiming that the new legal counsel was asking for $10 million for the rights to use the Lady A moniker. Ms. White requesting $10 million for the coexistence agreement isn't crazy. However, what she was planning on using it for isn't exactly as planned out as she thinks it is. Half of the money, she told Vulture correspondent Andrea Williams, will be used to rebrand, while the other half will go to black organizations of her choice. While it's noble, you can't exactly put the latter part in a court document. If the wrong person read even a cursory amount of the lawsuit and the countersuit, neither party would come out as a winner. Ms. White never applied for the trademark, the band's suit suggests, and there wasn't any contention when the trademark went through in the summer of 2011. So they changed their name in June because, again, racism. In early July, they launched a lawsuit. The band isn't looking for monetary retribution or sole ownership of the name. They just want to use the name. Ms. White came back with her own suit and a statement. She released a pitchfork that claims the band is bullying her by using their success. Quite simply, she does not believe coexistence can work. Or that's what her lawyers convinced her. Or maybe they're right. Look, if the basketball man, Michael Jordan, was the only Michael Jordan in the entertainment industry for decades, only to be joined by Michael B. Jordan, does that make them the same act? If there weren't SAG requirements for the actor Michael B. Jordan to have his middle initial, would people get as confused when someone said, boy, I sure do love Michael Jordan's acting in Fruitvale Station, only to elicit the response, wait, Michael Jordan acted in something other than Space Jam? To which the other person will respond, no, the other Michael Jordan. As if one Michael Jordan is better actor than the other. I mean, they both gave Oscar-worthy performances in their respective movies, and I'm not just saying this because I want to be quoted or casted in Michael B. Jordan's eventual Last Dance made for Netflix film. I'm aiming to play Dennis Rodman. Fingers crossed, I'm weird enough. One of the biggest questions is, do either lawsuits have basis? Chances are fans already have chosen their sides. Lord knows the Vulture writer did. Slate contributor Rochelle Hampton sat down with trademark attorney Alexandra Roberts to get down the details of both suits. She indicated the band's lawsuit is a declaratory lawsuit where they're essentially asking a judge to say they're within their rights to use the name Lady A alongside the singer. Based on a lot of factors, the judge could throw this out because neither party is suing for infringement, so more or less it's a waste of time for the court. It's a move that was played too early, preparing for a battle when there might not need to be a battle. She says their use of the name on their website, shirts, and yes, this album is basically a shorthand way of saying Lady Antebellum, a nickname of sorts, which isn't a strong use case for trademarks. But the registration is what makes the case so strong. And in the United States, trademarks are based on use. So as long as the band uses the name, they are in the right. But if Ms. White can prove that she was using it in the decades before the band, as she was touring the Pacific Northwest, then she's in the right. Then there's the idea that there are others out there using the same name. The Michael Jordan principle could be applied to this very situation. A cursory search on YouTube Music of the name Lady A leads to there being at least 8 artists, including the 2 that are in the story, using the name, all of whom released music within the last few years. The same search on Spotify leads to 20 total musicians or bands who either use the name Lady A or nickname themselves as such. Yes, the main bout is between the country band and the blues singer, but the problem exists much larger than them. What does the trademark attorney think that could happen in the end? Coexistence. Lawyers weren't needed for this in the first place, and if the band and the singer just sat down to talk about music, they'd reach an outcome. No one is in the right here. The band should not be paying themselves as a victim, and the singer should not be asking for money for a rebrand. So, who wins here? Well, I think it's you. because you subscribed and you check out one of our other videos. Of course, you can head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where there are so many great interviews with your favorite comedians that you'll be wondering, why am I still on this website? You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChadWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And you know, it's time for me to get back to my real job as a lawyer. Not a real lawyer. I'm a cartoon lawyer, and I'm going to go represent Wile E. Coyote. Looney Tunes, here I come.